lesson of chess and psychology. I'm Dorsa Derakhshani, and I just wanted to thank everyone who participated in the poll today, because I had some ideas that I wanted to do, and I just wanted to see what people want. And it was pretty cool to see a very nice divided. The results were 38% middle game, 30% end game, and 31% the opening Lasker Gambit defense that I wanted to show. So here we are, and I decided to go with a nice blend of middle game and end game, so we could just get back to it and just think more. Oh no, you missed the poll. I like doing polls for every class, so just like there is a everyone gets a little pumped about what to do. So yeah. Okay, so I found some pretty cool Fischer puzzles. So these are from Fischer Games, and these are all of them Fischer 1. So that should give you a pretty clear idea on what moves to look for. So yeah, just think about that a little bit. And okay, so hello from California, cool. I'm reading the chat, but I might fall behind a little because talking and trying to keep up is not always the easiest job. Okay, so let's jump into the positions. And the first one we have soon coming up. There we go. The first one is a game between Fischer and okay, give me a second. Purevzhav, I believe, and this is in 1962. So, hi from Norway and Sweden. Cool. I've been to Norway, never Sweden. I did want to play the tournament in Sweden, but somehow never happened. All right, so here is white to move, and just think what you want to do. So some of it is easy, but be careful, because just make sure you think about the whole position and not just few pieces, because okay, this knight is kind of pinned, you see. The queen is under attack, but you can't really like take it because the knight is falling, right? So yeah, just think a little about this position. Make sure you consider how weak this king is, also that you have an extra piece on the board. And yeah, keep typing in the chat about what you would want to do, and we'll just go from there. Make sure you think about takes, possible checks. Checks are cool, they end up in mates, right? Yeah, so sacking the queen is something that you should definitely think about, but make sure you actually like, so what would you do if he takes the queen? Because sometimes it's a sacrifice, sometimes it's just blunder. So hopefully we're not blundering, right? All right. Yeah, cool. I remember this username because of the cool anime, and you've said cool stuff before too. You're right. Tsubakura. You're right. Yeah. So bishop g7 is the best one. Good job, you everyone. Okay, so the idea is bishop g7. If you were to take, then f6, and you can't really stop the mate. And if the king were to just take on g7, you would simply just pick up this pawn. It's possible to do it with the queen too, because there is no more attack on c3, and you're just a piece up. So first one was pretty easy, right? Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay, right here, f11 works, yay. Ooh, New Zealand, wow, a lot of places I've never been. Hello. Okay, so let's think about this a little bit. White to move, how would you want to continue? Remember white Fischer? Fischer's always winning, right? Algeria, wow. So, let's see. Okay, yeah, you're correct, Shanks. Wow, it's going pretty fast. Okay, so taking on f7 is pretty cool because after take, you just have to remember not to just take it back immediately because, well, that kind of defeats the whole idea. And you want to play queen c4 and make sure that you do this, you are bringing more pressure and you are just kind of provoking this knight d5 because it's also the only move, and that kind of tries to hold the position. Otherwise it's just queen f7 coming up, then knight e6, and it's already pretty horrifying. So, and you just pick up the exchange, and if after take you just pick up the other piece too. So pretty cool, huh? Okay, so Portugal. I've actually been to Portugal, never Morocco, and also never Ireland. Wow, it's very global here. Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, so here is also white to move, and so I have a little bit of commentary over this, so while you guys are thinking about what to do, I'll just tell you a little bit of story about Fischer. So like in 1964, Fischer went on the road and played Simultaneous all over the US. For those of you who are not in the US. And this was in a book called Wandering King. I actually unfortunately never read that book, but I heard about it. So yeah, not everybody who played against him in Simultaneous were good, but it gave a pretty cool position for us, right? Alright, so queen h6 looks like mate, right? But can you try and give me the mate, right? So it's mate in 5. And congratulations to those of you who thought about queen h6. It's pretty cool. It's pretty it's good that you're thinking about checks and takes, and yeah. Alright, let's see what Shanks is saying. We have queen h6, take, check, king g6, bishop h5, king h6 or 7, bishop f7. Yes, you are right. Yeah, good job. Alright, perfect. Thank you. I'm just gonna show it on the board as well. I don't know why YouTube keeps hiding stuff for review. YouTube. Alright, so after check, and you end up in this position with mate, which is pretty cool. Bishop h3 doesn't matter. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, you see that the king doesn't have anywhere to go and there is no way to actually stop it, so we consider this mates too. So good job everyone, and yeah, let's rock and roll. Okay, this one's white to move 2. It is Fischer versus Weinstein. This was in US Champs in 1960. So here is another cool thing about history. Okay, so I'm not gonna give out too much, but you can clearly see that white has a pretty organized attack, and this king looks pretty sad and ready to be mated. So just think about how you can bring in more force. Yeah, I'm gonna give about 30 seconds so everyone has a chance to just absorb the position a little bit. But I'm reading the comments. You guys are correct. But so yeah, good. It's the technique of trying to, the way I call it, distracting the defensive piece. So this rook is defending b8, and you would want this rook to go away. So you take on h6, provoke the rook to move away, and yeah, you are right, Andrew. Even if rook goes to e8, that doesn't really work because you just pick e6 up. Yeah, queen h6 is pretty sweet, right? And mate. Okay, Fischer has some cool games, right? Okay, so this one, it's black to move. It's Rivera versus Fischer, Olympiad 1962. And now, This one was a little bit trickier, but this is a concept that I kind of emphasize on a lot. And the concept of like the hanging pieces or the defenseless pieces or the ones that are dropping a little bit, you know, those kind of pieces. So do you see anything like that in this position? Oh, you saw Fischer play in 1972? Wow, that is pretty cool. Oh, Marco, you are right. So are you, Shanks. Alright, I'm gonna give it like just 30 seconds so everyone can just get a good grip of this position. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Thank you for participating. But yeah, you see these two bishops are already looking like, hey, come attack me, especially this one that looks like a tall pawn. Let me rephrase that, tall weird pawn. So yeah, you kind of want to come and attack this. And that's the whole idea. So you go queen c6, you put the queen on b5, and even if like there's nothing to do, like just look at this position for a second. If you touch this bishop anywhere, this bishop falls. If you don't touch this bishop, well, this bishop is falling. So queen c6 and queen b5 was kind of a brilliant idea. Hopefully you all would have found this in a real game. Any questions? Everyone good? Okay. Let's jump to the next one. Ooh, we got a Reshevsky Fischer in 1970s. So I think this was the last round of a US championship. I think. Yeah. Loose pieces drop off. Thank you. LPDO. Yeah. Instead of LOL, that should be our chess term, right? Okay. Yeah, cool. You, Marco, you're pretty good. What's your rating? Okay, so queen d4 is the same concept that you do this queen d4 check, forcing the king to go away, and then you do queen f2. So now you are kind of forcing this king to just be punished for being so bad in the first rank, right? And if take, well, there's rook e1. If white tries to defend it with queen b5, it doesn't really work because, well, rook e1, right? So this is another concept that is pretty easy, and we see in grandmaster games such as Reshevsky, they also kind of slightly messed it up. What about queen e3, queen e1? I think queen e3, the issue is that, okay, so if you do queen f2, it's kind of the same thing. But what if they do rook f2 here? I mean, yeah, you could, oh no, be careful with the e8 rook. But okay, let's see, if just king h1, queen e1, what about just queen b5 defending it? I mean, there's rook e2, but again, rook g1. I feel like you would make it a little complicated, unnecessary. That's that. Or we're talking about queen f2 or queen e1. Oh, wait, hold on. Queen e1, isn't there this? Yeah. I mean, you're not losing, but now you are. So. Okay, yeah, queen f7. Good eye. Everyone catch it. Nice. Yeah, queen e1, it doesn't necessarily work because you are just blundering it. And good eye. Cool. Alright. So, another thing, I was just trying to look at it as just a practical point, not just a calculation. And the problem is that you couldn't bring in your rook necessarily. Oh no, this was interzonal. Oh, so who played in the last round of US Championship? Ah, man. Alright. Well, I know there's a game in here that was the last round of a US Championship. But, okay. So, yeah. Just practically, queen e3 and queen e1, it would make it kind of weird because even if queen f7 didn't work, how can you bring in your rook? Whereas when your queen was on an f2, then you have this rook e1, which is pretty deadly, right? And what about queen f2? Why not rook g1? So if queen f2, rook g1, well, still rook e1. Yeah, you can't really get away with it. Okay, so this was a cool one. I thought it would be a little easier. But, okay, let's look at the next one. Alright, now we have a Spassky Fischer, Game 5 of World Championship, 1972. Fischer is black again. So this is the match that happened in Iceland. And yeah, that was kind of a cool match. I also watched the movie that they made. Not necessarily the actors didn't really impress me, but the whole thing really did. Ooh, I see there are already moves coming up in the chat. Okay, so for those of you who are seeing it super quick, brilliant, you are gold. But for those of you who are not seeing it as fast, one way to think about it is, but you can clearly see that black has a better spatial advantage, and there are more things that black is targeting, right? So just think about it. If black could bring the queen over here, this queen and the knight would be very in a good rhythm with attacking here, and then that poor guy. So that's something that you could just think about it. And so here Fischer is black, and Fischer did this bishop a4. So the idea is pretty simple. If you take it, well, I'm just gonna pick this up and, well, whoops, and this will actually result in a win. But what if black, like white doesn't take? If white doesn't take and play something like trying to defend this still, you can just easily exchange it and just take over there. Still trying to mate, and the bishop is under attack, so it's kind of hard to defend it. I mean, it's possible to try and defend, but it doesn't necessarily work because you're dropping all of your pawns, and just your king is weak, your bishop is kind of weird looking place, and it is winning enough. Yeah, everything is falling, right? Okay, so glad we agree on that. And okay, so let's look at the next one, because I'm actually curious to know where is this US champ. This is the US champ game. Fischer Reshevsky, US champ 1958. There we go. This was the decisive game for the title of US championship. 1958. Fischer must have been a baby. Yeah. Alright, so what do you think baby Fischer did here? White to move. This is a beautiful one. So, well, I was kind of gonna say wait like 20 seconds, but well, you are too good here. You're too good to Subakura. You're way too good. Cool. Proud of you. Keep it up. Alright, so let's see if everybody sees it. So make sure you do consider checks and takes, and yeah, checks and takes, and how black is underdeveloped, and how you would want to just ideally punish him for being underdeveloped. You know, the usual stuff. Or yeah, the Fischer trap, huh? Okay, so let's see. Okay, but I know that you guys see the trap, but what if before I show it, so for those of you who are already thinking, please continue thinking, but for those of you who are already set bishop f7 and knight e6, I agree. Bishop f7, if rook f7, knight e6, and easy peasy, right? What if bishop f7, king f7, knight e6, then the king takes? So can you just try and tell me the mate after that? It's a nice challenge, huh? And it will give a little bit of more time for the other people who are just catching up. So yes, the first move is bishop f7, and regardless of taking with bishop or the king, white is going to play this knight e6, right? But my question is, if knight e6, king e6, okay, well, yeah, we would want to checkmate the king, right? So queen d5 makes sense, right? And the king has to go to f5. What else? Can someone just give me the mate? After king f5, it's mate in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so g4 is good. Let me show it over here. What after g4? So let's say g4, king takes g4. Okay, so back to here. If the rook takes, just knight e6 and voila. And if if black just takes it with the king, you can simply play this. And now we're talking about king e6, because if d takes e6, it's just you pick up the queen and you can tank your opponent. And that, I believe that was it was a very cool way to get the US championship title for Baby Fischer. He was a baby back then. Okay, so back to king takes e6. It is important to actually calculate this before you play it, because you have a feeling it's mate, but you want to be sure. You don't want your opponent to be able to slip away. So queen d5, king up, g4. King g4 is the only move, legal move. Okay, so white to move. What do you want to do now? Okay, so we got the g4, and there is a rook g1 too. Okay, if king goes back to f5, that's one possibility. The other possibility is king h4 or king h5. So let's first look. Yeah, king f5 is rook g5 mate. But what if king h5? Oh, no. King h5. There we go. So what would you do after king h5? King f5, we all got it. Rook g5 and cool. But what if king h5? King h5. I think this is... Well, there's a check there, there's another check there, there's another check there, so 1, 2, 3? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Queen d1 is definitely mate, but I was trying to see if there is a faster way, because if queen d1, king h4, bishop g5, king h3, queen g4, and queen g2 mate. But is there a faster way? What if e6 now? e6, rook f5 kind of creeps me out a little. It gives it rook coming in. I mean, it's still mate, because if you still have queen d1 and queen g4. Okay, no, just queen d1, rook f3, you take, queen d1. If king h4, you just do queen g4 mate. So, no need to. Yeah, mate in 2, easy peasy. Nothing easier than that. There's no mate in 1. So, cool. We got this. So, what about king h4? So, oh, chat is going way too fast. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You just have to be sure to do this bishop g5. If king goes to h5, you do the queen d1 way. If king goes to, whoops, if king goes to, where's the king? h3, now you just do the queen g2 way. And yeah, well, I really like this one. It was a pretty cool one. We got to sharpen our instinct and use some calculation. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, we got another Fischer Spassky, game 9. This was, if I'm correct, 1992. Yeah, the rematch. Yep. So, that's super high prize fund. Well, super high back then, let's call it. I mean, it's still pretty high. I wouldn't mind getting that much money, you know. Anyways, so this one is white to move, and so after seeing the polls, I knew I had to include some endgame in that, because people, the polls were really close. I really thought there would be like a decisive one, but oh boy. Okay, so now this is all grown-up Fischer, no more baby Fischer. Baby Fischer was pretty cool. Yeah, c5 is kind of under attack, under fire, and those rook and knight on g8 and h8 are just like, oh boy. So, Can someone just give me a little bit more, like, okay, so knight c5, take, rook a6. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Take, if you were to take with the, if you were to take back, just rook a6 and rook d6, right? This should get it done. And yeah, great. And if bishop c8, I mean, I thought this was kind of weird because you just lose the pawn anyways, and you're just putting your bishop back to c8 too. It didn't make much sense, but well, they liked it. And to no one's surprise, Fischer did manage to win this endgame. And alright, so anyone have a question on this one? Because it was a pretty cool one, but I understand if there are questions. Okay, so, yep, under development. I think, oh yeah, this is the pretty long one. So this was a game between Fischer and Filip in 1962. There were so many games in 1962 that had so much tactic in it. By the way, is there anyone here who hasn't actually read the 60 Memorable Game by Fischer? Because if you have not, oh my god, go get on it. You got 1 week to do all 60 games. They're very nice. It's Fischer written it, and he talked about his own ideas and what he was thinking about. Oh no, Sai. Oh no. Wow. Why you are so good, Tsubakura. Why you? Oh my god. Alright guys, you go get on it. Should be your first book to read after this. No other book. No summer courses, nothing. You gotta do that. It's a really good one. Who's to move? It's white to move. I mean, I read it a few times, and I don't necessarily memorize it, or I don't remember every single game, but they were really good games in there. And it's just 60 games. But yeah. I'm sure you can find it online too. But yep. That's usually my first advice for reading a book, because puzzles are cool, but it's like puzzles, you just feel like it's like you're reading it and moving on, moving on, like solving, that's it. But when you're looking at a full game that the person who played the game did the commentaries on it, you kind of get a better feeling, you connect better, you understand better. Yeah. Why not Game Changer? I mean, I don't remember that book, if that's a book. Okay, so the title of the book, it's Fischer wrote this book, and he called it My 60 Memorable Games, and apparently he wanted it to be 64 because of the 64 squares in chessboard, but he kind of didn't like the last 4 games. Other book recommendations, any book you find that has commentary in it from ideally the players who did it, those are good books. I believe pretty much every world champion has one. I really liked the Kasparov Great Predecessors too. For 1400, it might be too strong, but I started reading these books when I was like 10, and I didn't really, as long as you understand chess notation and you understand something from the book, you should read it, yeah. And yes to rook e8. But what if rook e8, rook g3? Another great book was the Zurich Tournament 1953, but make sure you find the one with the commentary. My other favorite books that I sometimes use some ideas from for this classes too, and I actually did one game from them, was the Giants of Strategy. I did my video about how to beat Kasparov in 13 steps from that. I didn't beat Kasparov, so that's, I'm not saying I did, but it was the title from the game in the book, and I really enjoyed that. That was a game between Karpov and Kasparov. Yeah, those are some of just the cool stuff that I remember. There are so many other new books to look into as well, but those are kind of the classic ones that I like. The Gelfand 3 books, well, I'm not sure if the third one came out, but the first and second one that I read, they were pretty amazing too. Okay, back to the game. Glad we got some book stuff out of the way. So yes, Rook E8 is the first move you should think about, and the best move for black is Rook G3, but what after Rook G3? So Knight F4, interesting, but before I say yes or no, can you let me know what if Knight went to E3? So what's wrong with Knight E3? Basically, well, I said it's wrong, so Knight E3, can black somehow try to slip away? Get some checks out of this? Yeah, Rook H5. Rook H5 does look pretty painful, right? Okay, so yes to Knight E3, Rook H5, and yes to it being painful. So Knight F4 is the best way to play, but just looking at it is pretty hard to make that decision because you just want a piece. Why would you want to give it back, right? So, okay, so let's look at Knight F4. Whoa, someone already looked up stuff on the book. Cool. Glad you guys work so fast. Okay, so back at it, Knight F4. Let's say black just takes. Whoa, nice. Knight E2. You guys are very good. So Rook H3 is pretty much the only move, right? King G2. Now you have to think for black. What if black plays Rook FH4 or give you check on Rook H2? So can you give me a little bit of just ideas or lines on both of these? So what if Rook goes to H2 check, or what if black plays Rook H4, Rook FH4? Where is this Rook going? Oh my god, where's my mouse? Ah, there's the mouse. Okay, so that's the first question, and that's the second question. Okay, so Rook H2, yeah, King goes to G3, agreed on that. But then Rook goes to F7. What's now? I shouldn't show who was the opponent? Why not? You just want to know who Fischer? You just want to know if Fischer was white or black? Yep, Rook F1 is the best one. Good, good. And you managed to get the piece. Alright, cool, great. So, let's go back to not check, and what if Rook goes to H4? So, if Rook goes to H4, what do you think white should do? Knight G... what? Knight G5? I think there might be a slight delay.
Only 10 seconds.
Okay, so that's... I don't think that counts. Knight F4 looks interesting, but... Knight F4, I mean, Knight F4, there's a chance for just... What if just Rook H2? King up... Just Knight saves, the Knight just stays safe somewhere. G5 maybe. Maybe here. I don't know, it just... I'm not the biggest fan of my king being a little just... right here. But... I'm thinking, what if like... No, that doesn't work. I was thinking what Knight D2 to try and create checks, but I mean Knight E5 looks pretty cool. Trying to come over here, maybe throwing a Knight G4 here, maybe a Knight G6 trying to exchange. Just keeping some options open. Okay, Knight F4 does look good though. But Rook D6 is the best one. What did I miss in the chat? Did I miss anything in the chat? People. Okay, well, thank you, Sammy. We'll take that under consideration. Okay, so, sorry, after rook d6, what do you want to do? Because you see rook e7, rook d8 mate is coming up. So, knight f4. It is black to move though. Okay, knight e1 check. Thank you. No, we're not there to resign yet. Be careful, rook g4. You would be slightly blundering this a little bit. Okay. No, black can still fight, but white is definitely better. So you can just play knight e1. Oh, hi. I've been to Philippines. Cool. Okay, so after knight e1, what do you think should happen? Hold on. I'm still thinking about something I said. I might have said it wrong. I was okay, let's just continue with this. We'll go back after. Okay, so here. Let's say after knight e1 check, white's gotta play king f1. And after king f1, what do you want to do now? So I see rook d3. Rook d3 is a good idea. What about rook h1? Rook d3. Oh, hold on. Could I take the knight on f3? Oh yeah. Huh. I don't know why. I probably was thinking. I don't know why I didn't. Whoa. Well, thank you for correcting me, Dely. Alright, so, but here, what do you want to do here with black? After king f1. Yeah, rook h1 is one way, rook d3 is another way. Let's look at rook d3, because rook d3 just check and you take c6, and again, rook is going back for c8 mate, right? So, I don't, this feels a little, too, how to call it, too slippery for black to be able to actually save it. I don't think black can save this. Even if like rook d8 to try and stop the mate, it's still, you're losing this guy. See, this time I remember to eat the piece. Yay! Yeah, free pieces are usually good stuff. You usually want to eat the free pieces, right? Alright. Oh yeah, Crash, my queen was almost trapped, but somehow it ran away. So, what about rook h1? You gotta do king f2, check, king up, another check. Let's say king e4. So, after king g7, actually, they kind of stopped and resigned and just Fischer won. So, do you guys feel the need to continue over here and see what's going on? Because, I mean, it's not mate in 2 or 3, but you can definitely just start by checking and just you can put this rook anywhere and you're still doing the mate threat. So something like king e8 should be happening, but then you eat this guy and then you go the other way. So the problem is that black can't really stop the mate. So just wanted to ask if you guys feel comfortable enough about this. Or just put this rook all the way back there. Same concept. You want to tuck the rook in and bring up the other guy to wrap it up. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Indonesia, cool. Okay, I kind of want to go back because I feel like I made a weird comment, which I don't know why I did. So let's go back. Was it here that I was talking about check? Yeah. Check up. Nope, not this check. Oh, yeah, here. We were talking about knight f4, and I said check, and, well, I mean, just take that. I don't know why let's just call it the brain freeze and move on. Whoops. But, seriously, after knight f4, what should black do? I'm thinking, I don't really see any cool checks to try to stop it. I mean, theoretically, black could just take over here and try to just sit and wait. Try to eat some more pawns and see how it goes. And yeah, I mean, it's like 4 pawns. Okay, let's say we take this, take that. Still pretty uncomfortable, still this mate coming up. No, I mean, this is still winning for white. So knight f4 probably would have worked as well. But it might have just been better to just play straight rook d6 and just go for the jugular, basically. Alright, so sorry for the little hiccup. Sometimes I see free pieces and I'm like, nah, who likes these free pieces? Alright, let's look at the other one. Oh, this is a cool one too. Okay, so what do we want to do here? White's to move. Let's think at least 30 seconds before just shooting at moves. I know you all see it. I know you all want to take stuff and eat stuff and give checks and sack and everything. But anyone feels like a full line? And just a heads up, it's not like a fast mate or anything. It's just a cool position. Okay, so this game is between Fischer and Dely in 1967. Alright, so. Oh, hi Aram. Sure, go ahead. Why not? 30 seconds are up. Alright, so. We like this rook f8. Good. And the good thing is the queen has to take, so the queen is going all the way back to f8. So, now what? What do you want to do after queen takes f8? I know you guys see it. If king takes f8, you just take the queen. Good. Fischer, Dely. I had this as under Fischer. Yeah, Dely. That's good to know you guys are Fischer fans too. Or at least, if not fans, you at least know his games, right? Okay, rook d1 is cool, but you could think of something a little bit more forceful. Because rook d1, what if just queen comes to e7? Queen a4, yeah. And b5 is pretty, I mean, b5 kind of has to happen, right? Because if king e7, bishop c5. If king f7, rook f1. If king d8, I mean, can I just play rook d1 and tank him? So, b5, queen e4 is pretty forceful. So, after queen e4, let's say rook goes to d8. Now what? Now what? How do you want to wrap the game up? Queen e4. Well, I thought I said queen e4, but well, yep. Thank you. Rook f1. It's interesting, but yeah, queen c6 should be pretty forceful. And let's call it rook d7. Now what? So rook d7. What do you want to do now? Rook d1, yeah, I think rook d1 should be pretty doable, right? Rook d1. And so now queen e7 is forced. So now just one more move and it would be pretty cool. Oh, hold on. Bishop g5 does give a little chance for a little wiggle room, so be careful. Alright, so let's look at bishop g5 first. If white played bishop g5, black does have one move that it's not like a saving move, but it kind of slips away, making the game a little longer. Can anyone try to find that for black? And yes, bishop c5 was kind of cool. Bishop b6 is even better. Or rook d3, that's also pretty cool. But, ooh, I'm still not seeing this move. Nope, 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 nope. It's black to move after bishop g5. No, wow, I'm not seeing this. Hold on, rook d1, you don't want to lose your king, right? Oh my god, I see this. Wow, Peter Pan. Whoa. Alright, so just castle, and it's just worth mentioning. It's nothing super duper, but it is kind of interesting to look at, because, I mean, this is still... See, because you can't really take it right now, because, well, whoops, can I take that, please? Oh, come on. Come on, rook. There we go. Right? It's pretty super duper, right? So I think like queen d7 has to happen, and then queen g5, and then queen e6, and see, black is still slippering away. White is still better, but black is kind of being slippery. What is the psychology relationship? I don't just give out puzzles. I try to actually explain how you should think about it, and well, today wasn't as deep for psychology, I agree with that, but I don't really like to give out like just puzzles and be like, oh, so these are 10 puzzles, good luck everyone. But yeah, I like just talking through it and not eating pieces as I did today. Pretty cool, right? Now, usually like I've been doing this like opening related series, just trying to explain from my experience and mixing it up with some, super GM experiences and games, and talking a little bit deeper about openings and how like this opening is a little bit more annoying and this has like this little trick in it. Those are what I was kind of thinking about. Please mention if queen c5 was played. Where? Thank you guys. Could you let me know where queen c5? Also, they didn't play. Fischer didn't play bishop g5 in the game. I think Fischer plays rook d3, and they just resigned because now bishop g5 is coming up. But hold on, what if after bishop c5, could there still be castle? Castle. Because you still can't take the queen. So I think bishop c5 wouldn't work because of, again, castle, right? Yeah, bishop c5 and bishop g5s don't work because of castle. There was the bishop b6 mention. So bishop b6 was also mentioned as a cool move. And now if like castle, well, okay, you just pick this rook up or with the queen. And this is a totally winning endgame, right? Okay, if here... Wait, actually bishop c5, castle, rook d7. There are no checks. Or takes, yeah. Bishop c5, I mean, okay, bishop g5 is a bad move because of castle, we established that. But if bishop c5, castle, just take the rook with rook d7. Queen f6, still take on f8, and there are not any traps. So yeah, that works, yes. Bishop c5, I'm thinking, is there anything? Maybe just queen f7? But then just queen c8, and that's kind of the end of that. So, what about queen d8? Still queen e6? Bishop c5 actually does. What about bishop c5, queen c5 check, though? Does that try to get away a little? Because you do have to take and then check. And I mean, rook f8. It does feel like black is getting some game. So I don't think bishop c5 castle doesn't work, but bishop c5, queen c5 does work. So be careful with these little things. So I think rook d3 is pretty cool because you're just waiting. But bishop b6 is also very interesting because now you are actually threatening queen c8 as well. And yeah, so the key in this position isn't to just rush into bishop g5 or bishop c5. It's more into trying and just keeping your cool and just allowing your opponent to make mistake, like playing with bishop b6 or bishop like rook d3 as happened in the game. So, any more questions from this position? All right. Okay. I don't know how much time we got left.
Wrapped up soon.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we are wrapping up. Whoa, the time flew. Well, thank you for everyone who joined us and stayed and did the poll too. And yeah, well, I'm gonna give you to another SLU student, Daro. Have fun with him. And make sure to come to Ladies Night on Thursday on Twitch. And I'll see you on YouTube next week. Have fun.